Hi, Tom Stewart here. I want to take a couple of minutes and talk about how we measure cleaning professional performance inside of MaidCentral. We have an employee stats report which houses a lot of this information. We measure attendance performance. We measure scorecard scores, which is a reflection of quality of that cleaning professional. We also have a couple of KPIs that we use to measure how well cleaning professionals use their time. And there's two general categories of that. We want to know how well they use their productive time, how well they use the time that's allocated to them to actually generate revenue and clean homes. We call that productivity. And there's another type of time that we want to measure and keep track of, which is the non-productive time that they have throughout the day. And that is the time that they would be using to, say, drive between homes or possibly, company meetings, any type of time that they're on the clock but aren't necessarily generating revenue. So I want to focus on how we measure the performance on how well clean professionals manage and use their time. So let's start with the easier number first, and that is productivity. The formula for productivity is allowed time divided by actual time. And the allowed time is the estimated time that it would take the average cleaning professional to clean that home, and that time is calculated in your MaidCentral quoting tool. So, for example, if you have a job that has an allowed time of 4 labor hours, and 4 labor hours, when I say labor hours, that's the total amount of time it would take all cleaning professionals to clean that home added together. So if I've got a solo, one person would take 4 hours to clean a home with 4 allowed hours. If I sent 2 cleaning professionals, the assumption would be that 2 cleaning professionals could clean a 4-hour allowed home in 2 hours. So that's important to know, that it's the amount of total amount of labor hours in the home. And say we send a solo to that home and they actually got the home cleaned in 3.5 hours. That would be a productivity of 114%. That's awesome. If that cleaning professional is being paid on an incentive pay system like commission or allowed hours pay, they're actually making more money per hour under a scenario like that than a cleaning professional would be if they went in and cleaned that home in, say, 4.5 hours. On a per hour basis, a cleaning professional being paid incentive pay would actually be making less on a per hour basis if their productivity is less than 100%. So obviously, we just demonstrated that productivity can be less than 100%, greater than 100%. As long as the quality is good, the higher that number, the better. So that's a metric that we attribute to every cleaning professional in the employee stats report. Important number. Measuring the non-productive time is a little tricky, or is trickier. The way that we have been doing it is by using a metric called efficiency. I'm going to call it company efficiency here because that's what it really is. But this number is on the employee stats report as well. And the way it works is it adds up all the actual job times and divides it by all the actual clock times. And clock time is defined by the job time plus non-productive time, drive time, meeting time, things like that. So an example of that would be, say a cleaning professional had 2 jobs in a day and each had an allowed time of 3 hours, that's 6 hours, and say they had 2 hours of drive time, that would be 2 hours of non-productive time. Then that would give you a total clock time of 8 hours. 6 job hours divided by 8, that's 75%. You can kind of see how that graphs out over here with the non-productive time being here with 2 hours, the job time being 6, but you add it together, they were actually on the clock for 8. So, company efficiency, the higher that number, the better. If they were able to get their non-productive time down from 2 hours to 1 hour, then the efficiency goes up to 86%. You can see how more of their day, basically, you're cleaning the same amount of homes, you're generating the same amount of revenue, but they're doing it in less. We shaved 1 clock hour off of that day. So that's good. So as a rule, the higher the efficiency factor, the better. The problem with this metric is the cleaning professional doesn't have total control over that number. The non-productive time a lot of times is drive time. So if they're scheduled to drive from one side of town to another, or if there are other schedule shortcomings, then it's going to drive their non-productive time up, and there's absolutely nothing that they can do about that. Another thing that kind of throws this off is if I am a cleaning professional and I am really fast, say I can get these homes cleaned in 4 hours as opposed to 6, which is really awesome, that actually drives my efficiency down. I'm being penalized for being fast. Likewise, if I am slow, that actually makes my efficiency higher. So from measuring the performance of cleaning professionals, company efficiency really isn't an awesome number. We've just introduced a new metric to replace company efficiency on the employee stats report. Before I get to that, I'm going to point out that company efficiency is still a very important number for you. We use that number to calculate on a company-wide basis how much of the workday is actually spent generating revenue versus non-productive time. And when you're figuring out if you're paying incentive pay, like commission pay, you need this company efficiency number to figure out how do you translate your target hourly rate to some percentage of revenue that you want your cleaning professionals to get. Or if you're doing allowed hours pay, sometimes called job ticket hour, you can use your target hourly rate and divide it by your efficiency factor to company efficiency to get you to what you should be paying for the time that you're in the house. So it's an important number, but it's not an awesome number for measuring performance of individual cleaning professionals. So we've recently introduced another KPI that we've been working on for a while, and this is in the employee stats report. You're going to see this in the employee stats report now in lieu of the company efficiency report. We're calling this the non-productive time factor, or NTPF, if you will. The formula for this is the allowed non-productive time divided by the actual non-productive time. The allowed non-productive time comes from the drive time that's calculated by Google between the homes that a cleaning professional is cleaning on any given day. And we add to that any meeting time or any other non-productive time that cleaning professional would have scheduled for them that day, and we divide it by their actual non-productive time. For example, if a cleaning professional had 2 hours of non-productive time scheduled for a day and they actually had 1.8 non-productive time, they would have MPTF of 111%, which is good. That means that they aren't wasting time between homes, and they're using their time efficiently. If this number, the actual non-productive time was 3, the NPTF would be 67%. That's not good. Now, there could be reasons for that was beyond their control. Maybe there was bad traffic, maybe the car broke down. You know, there's a lot of things that could happen. But you're going to see this number on the employee stats report. And if you do this day after day after day, and if consistently a cleaning professional has a non-productive time factor of less than 100%, you know, that's an opportunity to have a discussion and to help them figure out ways to use their non-productive time more effectively. So when you take this, the productivity number that we've had for a long time in the employee stats report, and add to it the non-productive time factor, those two numbers together give you a comprehensive look at how well your cleaning professionals are using their time, and that's your biggest cost inside of your business, and that's your biggest opportunity to generate more revenue off of the scarce direct labor you have. So I'm excited that we're introducing this. Take a look, and we'll be having more discussions with it as we move forward. But you're going to find that this is going to be a very valuable KPI for you and giving you insight as to how you can maximize the return off of the cleaning professionals you have in your business. So thanks for your time, and more to come in the future.